Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of DnD Cross. Today, I've cleared out a little chunk here in an unknown area, and this is where we're going to work. Now, I know it's been a while since my last D&D episode, and I didn't lose like a little bit of my creative function, but with everything that's going on in the world right now, it's kind of been wearing me out. Oh, I'm sorry. It's been wearing me out. I'm still working and everything, so it's a little rough. It's anyways. Aside from that, I have been working on some side quests and stuff, which is what I needed to get done in order for my next episode to work. And so I have like 14 pages of different side quests right now. So we should have some stuff to work on here. A lot of them are going to be dungeons, so you might see a lot of dungeons in the upcoming episodes, and you might see some. We're gonna have to do another city here. Probably not as big as our center of the world, but let's explain the side quest for today's video. So we are somewhere in the center of the world. I will give you that information. We're somewhere in it, and we have a quest where we definitely forgot to make Farouk's altar. I don't know if you guys remember that back 5 or 6 episodes ago. We were making it the cathedral, and we had everything where we wanted it to be. And as I was showing it to you guys, I realized that I just straight up forgot to create the one of the altars for the gods. So I decided that instead of just making it like I said I was going to, I'm just gonna turn it into a quest to locate Farouk's altar. And it fits with the lore because Farouk is an underworld god that was kind of forgotten. So it would make sense, speaking lore-wise, that his altar would have also have been forgotten. So instead of just giving players access to this set of buffs in this god, we're gonna make them look for it and work for it. And it's not gonna be a long quest. What, this cave sound? Holy crap! Go away. It's not gonna be like a lot of work for it. It's gonna be a lot of steps involved in the quest. And if we look at the quest here, let me just make sure. Here we go. They're gonna meet up with a few different people, and this will probably be one of the first quests that they'll do when they get to the city, if they're playing kind of main quest story driven, because it's gonna seem like it could be a main quest. So we're gonna have a maintenance worker in the cathedral who is kind of a conspiracy theorist and knows that there's another god's altar, or thinks that there's another god's altar around, and your job is to help her find it. So we have to make a long cave here. And the long cave it's gonna look, oh boy, it's gonna look as forgotten as it needs to look, which sounds kind of weird, but I want it to be difficult to get to, and this is gonna be a place where we meet a couple of the different creatures in the game. Now I'm not gonna tell you a lot about what these creatures are. But they are Minecraft based, as in most of these creatures are also Minecraft based creatures, which makes sense because it is Minecraft and D&D combined. So we are going to make like a long shaft here that the players have to traverse through, maybe get a couple of key items on the way, and then they're going to have to figure out where to put them, and they're also possibly going to have to fight some creatures on their way. So that is what we're going to do today, and we might do another dungeon because I don't think that this one's going to take too long, and I have a few other dungeons. I know that I need to make 3 dungeons for one quest, so we might get 1 or 2 of those done today as well. But I think that we're just gonna straight up hop into a little speed building session here, and we're gonna mull this one over together, and then I will see you guys when it is complete or almost complete. So I hope you guys enjoy our speed building session here. welcome back from that speed building session we had there. I tried to make things as open as I could for as long as I could, but the plan has always been stalagmites, stalactites. I don't really know which one is which. I don't really think anyone knows that unless you are certified in that area. But we got these dangly stalake items, and these are like petrified vines. And if you're smart enough, you might be able to figure out what these are, but I'm not going to tell you. And we come down here, it just gets a little worse. We got a little water that comes out of the ground just because, you know, leaking from the city itself. And then we get to the pedestal. Pretty simple. Pretty, it's kind of exactly what I want, actually. It's simple. It's easy. It's an easy side quest for the players to complete. If they have the time and or resources to do so. The rest of the quest is mostly talking to people and whatnot, and paying people and clearing areas out for people. But this is the main dungeon we needed for it, so it's pretty simple. And I think that we might just, with how simple this is, we might just move on to another dungeon here, get some of these smaller dungeons out of the way as quick as we possibly can. So let's zoop on over there, and we will get to work. Alright guys, so I've gone hunting here for another location, and I think I have found the perfect one. It is going to be a much larger cave than the other one, probably a little bit more cave-like than like dungeons that we've done in the past, but we're going to, it's going to have like a really large top on it, and then we're going to even it out from there. Let's see, let's what do we, that's what we want. So we're gonna have like a, this is not, oops. Let's go 8. Okay, that, what? Thank you. Okay, so we want one with like a much larger entrance than what we've done in the past. So we're gonna start with something like this, and this is gonna be the entrance to the cave. And there's not really gonna be much other than this. It's just gonna be an entrance to a cave, and the rest of it's gonna be done underground, and it saves us. The goal for this is that we don't want it to be found right away. Only if the players are exploring, or if they can get the location off of this video. I guess I can't stop them. It's going to be, I want to say it's going to be a main quest dungeon, but we're going to be making so many dungeons in the future. I might make them as like a second part of each video, just because I don't want all of our episodes to just be dungeons from here on out. I feel like that'd be boring for everybody, me included. So we're gonna start with this, and then we're going to have, probably it's gonna be like a big cave entrance into like a smaller turns, kind of like if when you're in like the actual like survival mode and you find like one of those big caves. That's kind of what we want this to be. The further down you get, it's going to be caves and lava and all that kind of stuff. So let's see, what do we like that? I feel like we could probably come out over here too, just to give it a little bit of weight on this side, so it doesn't look like it's not being held up by anything. So we'll go, is that too much? Maybe we make this come around too, and then maybe we overshadow it a little bit more. So now I think we have a good cave shape here. Yeah. So now we use our fill brush. This is the same thing as we've done so many different times here. So sorry if this, okay, I'm gonna jump into a time lapse probably and just finish this up, because you guys have seen me do this multiple times here, and then we will jump straight into building the cave itself, I think. And while we're doing it, I know you guys probably don't care, but I do watch a lot of Netflix while I'm doing this, and currently I'm watching Money Heist. It's a show about a bank robbery and kind of like the stuff that goes into that kind of thing. It's all fictional, like it's not based on a true story as far as I know. But it is probably one of the better shows I've watched on Netflix in quite a while. So if you're into watching shows, or if you're doing something like I'm doing that requires you to have a lot of downtime, then give it a shot. I'm in between a few different shows right now. It's Money Heist is the one I'm watching on the most of the time, but I've also been watching Community because they just put that on Netflix, and then also Altered Carbon too. So it depends how I feel, like how much thought I want to put into a show at any given time. So yeah, with that being said, I am going to jump into a time lapse and probably just watch a little bit of one of those shows, probably Money Heist, because I'm kind of addicted to it right now. Let's be real. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the second time lapse of the episode here, and yeah, I'll see you when we are done or closer to done. Alright guys, so we are back with our dungeon, for the most part complete. We just have one more thing to do that I also have to hide from you guys. We can build it together, but we need to hide the location of it. And you guys will see why here in a second. As we come down here, we've got a huge open layout, and exactly what I want. And honestly, this build was pretty easy because it needs to have a crude look for the purposes that I want it to have. Like, it's been traversed, but also like not enough to like affect the layout of the cave. So we've got like these like holes in the ground here, which we can make with voxel sniper, so it made it pretty easy. But then the paths are not easily set up. Like, you're gonna have to break blocks, you're gonna have to place blocks, which is gonna be difficult because the players only have a certain amount of blocks that they can place in a day. So this could take them 1 session, this could take them 2 sessions, this may take them 5 sessions. You never really know. But this is going to be extremely difficult for them to find, because we have this main cave here, and it splits off into two directions. This one, we'll actually run it, or fly down here. This direction, we got to cut off right here, but then you see that there's these little caves that go out in multiple different directions, and these wrap around into each other, back and forth. We've got so many different ways to go here. Some of them are caves that I just ran into that just kept going. Some of them are ones that I made myself. We still have ores down here, so the players being down here isn't extremely useless. If they have a block breaker, which I am going to urge them to have in the playthrough, if they have a block breaker class, then they'll be able to get some gold and stuff and whatnot out of this. I try to hide as many of the diamonds as I can, but if they find a diamond, they find a diamond. Like, it's whatever. And then we have like more and more and more, and these go on for like thousands of blocks. Like, they could go down this tunnel right here for 1,000 blocks and not find a single thing. Similar over here. They could go down this tunnel for 1,000 blocks, not find a single thing. This one, same thing. This one, same thing. They all wrap around and intertwine on so many different levels, and the players will get lost, and I know that because I built it and I got lost. I'm not gonna lie to you, I would finish a cave and I'd spend like half an hour trying to get out of it, to the point where I actually just wrote down the coordinates of this main area and would just TP back because I was like, I can't do this anymore. So just more caves, and now we go on to like the second area here. So we have this one that goes down, this goes back up to the main entrance here, and then over here we have another one, again more caves that go off in multiple different directions, the same thing. These ones have a little bit more level changes to them. You can see this one goes down a little bit more. There's some of them that go up, some of them that go both, some of them that go straight. There's actually one over here, right here, that just goes straight. And I thought, like, this one was a little weird because I was building it. I was like, well, I don't know if you'd actually find something like this in a cave. Like, I've never been in a cave, especially an unexplored one, so I wouldn't really know. But I decided to just go for it because, you know, whatever. It's my world. I can do what I want. But again, more caves, and then we have another cave down here. So I am going to choose one of these caves at random, one of these branches at random, one of these areas at random, and we are going to build. Now, this is going to be one of those things that I can really see the players getting really, like, extremely annoyed with. Like, I understand that this is not easy, and generally with this entire campaign, I want it to make it as difficult, as annoying, as strategic as I possibly can, and I understand that this is not one of the challenges that the players will face with an open mind. Like, they're gonna go down a few of the caves, it's gonna waste their time, and honestly, like, the content that we are getting for the videos that we're making isn't going to be very good. So what we're going to do to combat that is there'll be places like, I don't know if people ever played Pokemon, the escape ropes in Pokemon. We'll kind of do something like that where we can TP them back to the very beginning of the cave. With that being said, though, those escape ropes are going to be extremely expensive. Extremely expensive, and we are going to have one of the gods is going to make torches burn out. And the only way to use an escape rope is if you have, if you follow one of the gods that doesn't give you that perk. So you're really choosing, do I want to explore this entire cave with a torch that won't burn out? Or do I want to have an escape rope at the ready in case I get lost? So this is going to be a place where we really make the players dig down and choose. Now, we are going to have 3 players, so obviously one of the players can have a torch that doesn't burn out and kind of lead the pack. However, that player won't be able to use an escape rope. So they'll be stuck in the cave and the other 2 players can go back if they want. Now, also with that being said, there are going to be 2 places that the players need to go in this cave. One place is going to have the key to what they need to get into the second place. It follows along with the lore of the cave being an unexplored place. No one in the world has been able to find this place before. And obviously, you know, adventurers being the chosen ones, etc., etc., they need to figure it out on their own. So there's going to be 2 different pathways that the players need to find. Now, I think that is going to make it take longer. However, it's going to give the players more of a chance to find at least one of the things. They'll be able to mark the entrance of the cave and which way it goes. And I made it so that if you're going down a certain path and it veers off into a second path, then you'll know where you are, because the paths don't, like, it's not unmanageable to know where you're going. Also, the players will be able to create a map layout of the dungeon with just a simple pen and paper, if that's what they decide to do, if that's what they're smart enough to do. So this is where, like, the D&D part, like, we've really been focusing on the Minecraft part, but this is where the D&D part comes in handy, because you do have access to real-world materials, such as a pen and paper. You have your F3. In most cases, I'm not going to allow the players to use F3, but I think in caves like this, it's really only fair if they are allowed to use F3, because I would feel really bad just making them spend 4 hours in this cave, and I would honestly probably get bored myself. So, we've rambled on long enough, we've explained it long enough. I am going to place the key in one of these. I will probably forget where it is, which is a good thing, because I don't want to be able to give the players hints as to where it is. This is theirs to find. Secondly, I will find a place for the rest of the build to come together, and we will jump back together when we find that area, and honestly, we might just hop into a time lapse and just knock it all out together. It's going to be a pretty simple room, so it might be a pretty short time lapse, and then we'll come back together. So that is the plans for the rest of the episode, and I'm going to locate a place, and I hope you guys enjoy the time lapse. Alright guys, so welcome back. I did a little work off of camera here, and we're done. I hope you guys enjoyed the time lapses. I understand that they might be a little bit rough around the edges, because cave time lapses really suck to make, but hopefully you guys could see what you needed to see. And we're back in the main entrance of the cave here, just because I don't want to give anything away, and I don't want to give any locations away if I can at all avoid it. That being said, let me run you through how it's going to work. So, they are going to be able to find either of these locations, and they're pretty obvious when you find them. You have to go to the first location and get a pick. That pick is going to allow you to break a block needed to run a machine, which is going to allow you to get the item. So it's pretty simple. Nothing super crazy in the sense that, like, strategy or puzzle go. However, there's going to be a lot of D&Ding in this kind of area. There's going to be goblins, there's going to be whatever other creatures live in this area, spiders, bats, whatever. So I mean, it's going to take them a while, but it's a pretty simple cave to make, so that's why I wanted to include it in this episode, just because there's really not as much to it on your guys' end as there is on my end. So this is going to be a place that the players need to come, though. Maybe a main quest, maybe not a main quest, but they will be here, which is going to be obnoxious. So hopefully you guys enjoy watching our players suffer as much as I do. But with that being said, we're going to keep a simple wrap up here, since there's not really anything that I can show you guys. Yeah, so until next time, guys, I will see you when I see you. Peace, peace.